to see you all back, Tankers of Blitz Universe, with the second of the Tier 5 Mediums comparison review. And if you look closely at our two subjects of today, the T-34 and the Crusader, one thing is apparent from the start: this is not a true mediums comparison, because the Crusader is a light tank after all. But then again, it's a Tier 5 tank of the British medium tech tree, hence it has its place in this comparison review. And we're gonna see from the statistics, both the T-34 and the Crusader, they are very much alike in that they are best played with a high rate of fire gun, slightly low with alpha damage. It's the same for both of them, 90 average alpha on your AP rounds and on your APCR. And they produce a very high DPM, the highest of the 6 mediums available. The Crusader is just a bit above the T-34, but both of them have to be played in a position where you can place them and make that gun work. The first match up here, again we have 4 matches. The first match is up on Copperfield. Reds have 3 heavy tanks, we have 2. Normally I would go on a flank, but you can see we have 3 tank destroyers, the Hetzer went up, and we have 2 death toasters. I would have wanted them to go towards that upper right corner, where they have a better field of fire on the helper house, but this is, well, it's good. It's not excellent. We are having 6 tanks on the top pass. The T-34 is at the back. Haven't seen the red Hetzer yet, so he might be at respawn. But the heavies are over here. They are likely to push. I'm backing off, as you can see here, slightly, and the KV-1 is moving in. We bounce a shot. Quite lucky, because we only get track damage. I use my multi-pack. Wrong button pushed, really. I do press adrenaline because I want to keep the KV-1 tracked. We do get track damage, but we don't track him in place. But we do manage to get the first kill on the red KV-1, and that's a good sign to see. I'm not really keen on both of the death toasters. One of them is pushing very hard across the lowlands. The other one, I don't know where he is. He seems to be heading up behind us, and that's not a place where you want one of those death toasters to be. You want them at a place where they have a clear field of fire and they are not maximizing the chances to put out damage. We do track this T-34 in place, been unfortunate, without damage. Trying to bounce a shot off the gunman, but our turret gets jammed and we do get some damage against us. But it's 4 on 3 now. There's a KV-1 still left, a T-1 left, and a Crusader. So that's T-34 against Crusader. Fitting really for the type of review we're doing. And we have switched to APCR on the back of this KV-1. We get a slightly high roll of 93. We finish him off. We can't track the T-1 in place. Do get a bounce on that front plate. The T-34, obviously one of the most influential designs of World War II. It had sloped armor on the sides, sloped front plate, and that front plate really inspired the Germans to building their Panther tank. And a lot of the features that are done were done in the T-34 still have their place in main battle tanks today. Been unfortunate here because we get the Crusader down to 55, but we can't get the last shot in. Now we rush up on the T-1. We don't finish him, but the Crusader finishes us off. Been unfortunate, may have gone for a ready there, but lo and behold, there's our death toaster at the back. He is still full health. Not a good sign, and I'm not too keen on him having the big gun, really. You don't need those penetration numbers that this gun offers you on Tier 5. And as you can see, he's having a lot of problems with elevation. He wants to turn back to the Crusader, decides to dive down anyway. Go for the Renkel on the T-1, loses half of his health. And I'm not holding my breath that we are gonna win this game, because he's tracked, he repairs, and there's the Crusader. Boom. Really funny moment. Could go straight into one of the derp videos in the Chronicles of Nubia playlist. But that Crusader, had he hit the death toaster, we would have lost this match for sure. But this is a win. Bit lucky, but a first class and a sniper medal, 1.8k damage. That's nice. First in place of damage and experience. A lot of shots fired, quite a few hits as well. So that's all well and good. Let's look at statistics. It's not Jer talk, sorry about that, but here are statistics, and the main features of the T-34 are in the maneuverability department, and as said, rate of fire coupled to lowish alpha damage, but it makes a very good DPM. If you take a look back at all the statistics, because they went pretty quick over there, you will also see that none of the other tier 5 mediums will have trouble penetrating your hull, your turret, or whatever part of the tank, and it's vice versa for all of the tanks. So I'm moving in the middle of this pack over here. If you take a look at the minimap, you can see we are well in the middle of all the tanks. 2 tanks to our left, 2 tanks to our right, some to the rear. And you can make an iron fist, checking HE penetration by the way, but we have a skimpy 57mm gun, so our penetration values on the HE aren't too good. On the Panzer IV we reviewed last night, penetration values are a lot better. Best in the tier of the tier 5 mediums actually. And most of the tanks have good penetration values on HE, bar the T-34 and the Crusader for having 57mm guns with the caliber. The bigger the caliber, the better the penetration on high explosive rounds. That said, it does have its values. We're gonna see that again in this video. We've seen it on the Panzer IV video. Got some feedback on that video that if you're fighting a Leopard and you have a 75mm gun like most of the tanks you carry on this tier, swapping to HE can be worthwhile because you get higher damage rolls. You can see also we are moving in quite cautiously. The cap is building up to 48, 49, 50. We can take a shot on the Panzer IV-D. Popped adrenaline, this shot dunks into the wall. It's a bit unfortunate. But by slowly moving in and taking little shots on the Cruise and on the Panzer IV, we can now move towards the cap, which is moving up to 60. Swap to APCR just to be sure to pen. The Hetzer is looking away. We can easily shoot him, reset the cap, turn around again, swap back to AP, and that's done. Nothing really fancy, no need to take that Hetzer down completely. I'm moving up the incline here again, you saw me do it on Copperfield. I'm putting my front plate in an extreme angle, auto bounce for the Crusader. One pot shot into the Crusader, no shots into the Churchill. There we go, another shot into the Panzer IV-D. And it's just a matter of wrapping up, even though it's only 2-0 at the moment. HE on the Panzer IV. 3-0 now, 3 tanks up. And Reds are well and truly spread out, and here you can put the mobility of the T-34 to good use. Drive to tanks that are isolated and use that high rate of fire and very, very good DPM at tier 5 to take down tanks in a second really. Or maybe not in a second, but with the amount of hit pools as you can see here, T80, T1 heavy, KV1, SU-85, you can take them down within half a minute, and especially if you platoon a tank like this, the T-34 or the Crusader together, and you're basically just a double-barreled machine on a tier 5. Doing 90 bits, 90 alpha damage hits per shot, penetrating, maybe some a bit higher, but you are a force to be reckoned with because you have good maneuverability as well. First class, Confederate medal, a spotter's medal, it's not a scout, what is it, patrol duty, and a medal for resetting the base defender as you can see, and we get a sniper's medal again. Like we did on Copperfield, we didn't go to our usual spot, we went up the hill instead of flanking around. Here we have the Crusader, that other fast-firing medium-ish tank at tier 5. This one has the added benefits of being a light tank. That means it doesn't lose its camo value when moving. It only loses camo value if you're firing a gun. So I'm spotted only as I move into the gun size of this Wolverine, but you can see again high rate of fire, 90 average damage per shot. Try to lock this Wolverine in place, wait a bit for the hit skin to go away, and then we can shoot him. Quick firing gun, typically British, low alpha damage, high rate of fire, but great accuracy. As you can see here, front plate of the KV1 with AP, no problems whatsoever. He's not angled and we can shoot straight through it. Reasoning behind going into the town instead of going into the desert like I normally would is the fact that we have 3 heavy tanks, Red have 2. and I predicted that their main force, their 2 heavy tanks, would be in town, supported by either the Stuck or the Wolverine, and it turned out it was. We can now put fire shots into this KV-1, track him in place, and that's it really. 4-0 already, because we went with our main armored force and did a proper job at shooting rats, taking away those little bits of health and putting the gun to work again. That's what you have to work with the Crusader. You're a light tank, you don't have the armor. You have the worst armor scheme of the tanks in this mediums review trilogy. But you do have a decent mobility, a decent view range. I carry optics and binoculars on this tank. I'm not using the binoculars at the moment because you have to sit still for longer than 3 seconds, and that just didn't happen in this game. But I wanted to use the binoculars as well because that helps me spot targets even quicker than before. We're ramming the Crusader, the Red Crusader, just because it's possible. He seems to be AFK anyway. There we go, last kill. Yes, we do get the last kill. Thank you very much. That's 3 kills for us, quite a good game. Again, a first class game. This is some first class material in this video. And like I said, I carry binoculars because I want to do some spotting as well, as if possible. Sit still for 3 seconds and do a lot of assistance damage, because that's the role of a light tank. Again, first game done in this tank. Statistics over here. As you can see, not a lot going for it except for view range and above all the DPM. Highest DPM in the team. Please shared with the T-34, who has 7 hit points lower than the Crusader. But you have the highest DPM in the tier, so put that gun to work and hammer away at rats. Trying to spot them if they go towards the trains. Binoculars give me 25% extra. That means well over up to 300 meters of view range. 240, 25% of that would be 60. 300 meters of view range on tier 5. Add some perks to it, some crew skills, etc. and a spotter extraordinaire. Here we go, hammering away at the Covenant. A bit lucky to get the kill. He was in all sorts of strife, all the wrong position. KV-1, again, it's just AP, no APCR needed on the side of the tank, and the rate of fire is spectacular. Because an engine fire, this shot, it goes in. Another shot over here bounces on, goes in as well. But we do get one shot, which is a bit unfortunate because we don't get the kill. We try this one over here, that one doesn't go in. We switch to APCR, a bit too late. Kill gets taken by the Stuck 3. There's a Leopard, quick shot in, snapshot gun, really, it's British, you gotta love snapshots. The Stuck was probably to the right, but I misjudged it, he was to the left. Quick shot in, we're here anyway. We do get a shot into our side, move over this small hill, and we take the first target. And we're not gonna shoot the Stuck, we're gonna shoot the A20. If I were to shoot the Stuck, I would have exposed myself to the A20 and the Stuck itself and the Leopard. We have some tanks behind us. We take a quick shot on the Stuck now because he's a one shot. Here we go again, on towards that A20. Probably the same type of player as the Covenanter. He doesn't really know what to do. One more shot in, snapshot, like I said, British guns, you gotta love them. But if it goes all wobbly and bouncy, you do dunk some into the ground as well. A20 was away just a bit too quick. We can get a snapshot on him now. Thank you. That's 3 kills. Leopard. Track shot doesn't work, but it's 20 now. AP through the sides. Adrenaline loaded. 4 kills for us, 5 kills on the enemy. We do get a Redley over here. And here's the tier 1. We can shoot him in the sides, but he's looking at us, so we're backing away and the shot dunks into the ground. Back of the T1, no problems penetrating, as you can see from the hit skin. We can track him in place over here, and now it's just a matter of backing away, going forward, back and forth until he turns his turret again and he doesn't face us. There we go. Shot into the side, one more shot into the side, and one more shot into the side, and so on and so on. Hammer away at the T1 heavy. There we go. boost medal and a very nice mastery. It's not all first class material in this video, we do have an ace game as well. And that's it by comparison. The T-34 is much more of a medium tank. It has armor, whereas the Crusader hasn't got it, but the Crusader and the T-34, they both share the DPM which you have to work with, and the Crusader gets that added benefit of being a light tank. Hence, it doesn't lose camo value if moving. Hopefully I'll get the Chino and M4 video online tomorrow. As for now, your usual cheers and happy tanking.